Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is kind of like a little impromptu video. I wasn't planning on filming today. It's nighttime, it's after work, but I had a coupon for CVS, so I decided to pick up a few things. And so this is kind of a full face of first impressions, but not really a first impression. You'll see. But yeah, I just have a couple things I want to share with you, and we'll see how they work out. If you're new here, I just want to take a quick second and introduce myself. My name is Haley. Here are my socials, and this is my realm of creativity, where I mainly focus on fantasy and makeup related things. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing and becoming a companion on my makeup quest. And I upload usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, and if I don't, then I will let you guys know on Instagram and Twitter, so be sure to follow me on there to keep informed on when my uploads are. And now let's get into the video. Alright guys, I already have my eyebrows done. I was on the phone with my mom, like I was about to press record and my mom called and she was like really excited about a work thing, so I just wanted to talk to her for a little bit. But my eyebrows are already done, so I have two things that are exactly the same as things that I already own, but different. And one of those things being this LA Girl Pro. Oh wow, that is really reflective. This, is it gonna be reflective over here? It's a little better. This LA Girl Pro Artistry. I do have the Mastery as well, and if you guys have been with me for a minute, you know that these, oh, let's go like that. You know that these, these shimmers are what I wore on my wedding day. I really, really love these shimmers. They're some of the first shimmers that I fell in love with. The mattes, while they're blendable and pigmented, pinks aren't my cup of tea. So I don't really reach for this palette for the mattes. The shimmers are nice, buttery, textured, foiled, probably some of the best that you can buy at the drugstore. I've tried e.l.f., I've tried CoverGirl, I've tried there's another shadow I am forgetting. But yeah, these, not just the small LA Girls, because I had another LA Girl palette that I have recently completely decluttered, the Feverish palette, and it was not a big one like this. It was in this kind of packaging, so not those. There has to be these. I know they have a couple of these out now, but my CVS only carries these two, and I was really tempted to I've been really tempted by this palette for a long time, and I was hoping that I would get my BH order by the time I was filming this weekend, but I did not, which is a little unfortunate, but it's okay. I won't be able to film next weekend, so I'm pre-filming a lot this week because my best friend's getting married next Saturday on Halloween, so it will be next week. I'm gonna just be focused completely on her and everything that she needs, and I really can't wait. I'm so excited, but that is a lot of pre-filming work for me. Could you please stop? Stop. So I'm usually a week ahead on everything, if not 2 weeks ahead. So I just have a lot of videos to get done this week, and I was hoping to do some sort of first impressions, but yeah, I decided to pick this up instead. I'm going to show you the back first. I'm mainly really interested in this row, but when I opened it, it was there was a lot more to it than I thought there would be. Okay, so I'm trying not to blind you guys. Here it is, and it doesn't really look that impressive. This shade right here and this shade right here look really, really intense. One of the downsides to these though is that there's a sticker on here still, so the shade names are on the back. Doesn't really bother me a whole bunch, but I know that it does bother some people. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this look yet. I'm gonna just swatch, just like, those are drugstore shimmers, man. So we have Expressive, Zeal, Graceful, and Prodigy. For drugstore, I cannot find another metallic formula that is as buttery and pigmented as these palettes. There was one more I wanted to swatch, and that's Passionate. Oh yeah, that's really textured. Passionate. That's a drugstore shimmer, guys. That's a drugstore shimmer. Just like, that one's really flaky. So if you do your eyes after, damp brush, glitter glue, you're good to go. But yeah, I just don't know what I want to do. I did just do a green look. I guess I'm just gonna do a warm tone look today, guys. I don't know. Because, okay, this is how I usually do new palettes. I will do at least 1 or 2 looks with the palette on its own, and then I will integrate it in to my palette collection as a whole. So I'm really trying to adhere to that, but the mattes in here, there is 3 mid-tone browns, 1 light brown, an orange, and it's supposed to be a matte black, I think. I think it's supposed to be a matte black, but it really looks like a deep forest green, but when I swatch it, it looks like as good of a matte black as the drugstore can make. So it's coming off gray. Okay, I'm doing a warm tone look. I don't really wanna, but I feel like I'm being pigeonholed, so, and I want to get this on my eyes. So I'm just gonna go in with my Milani primer, taking my BK201, just dipping into Finesse, which is a mid-tone brown, doing, can't see, jack crap. Ending that. I really don't typically do my crease like a different color than like on my lid. Like, I'm not one of the people who like always have to have like a neutral crease. I hope you guys can see. Really trying to get you guys the angle that you guys need to see my eyeball. This is a pretty good brown for me though, if I did use a crease color in every look, but I typically don't. I don't need a brown crease. I usually just use like the crease tone of whatever I'm using, be it blue, purple, green. Just really going into my crease. I'm doing a little bit of a different shape than I typically do. Really focusing on the outside. Because usually I go straight out. And I'm doing just like a little bit more of a rounded eye today. Close to where I want it to be. Take a more precise brush. It's my 202. Dipping into Brilliance, which is just a tad darker than the shade that I was just using. And I'm going to focus this on the outside in my crease. Really stamping that in on my outer corner. It's gonna be a pretty simple look today. Going back into my 201, same color. Dipping back into Finesse, mixing it with Radiance, which is like a creamy skin looking blending shade. I'm gonna go over the top of that like that. This dense brush from BK, it's the 207. I dipped into Sleek. I added that into my crease. And then I'm switching in between brushes. The brush that I used any of the brushes really, whichever one my hand grabs. And just trying to diffuse the edges. I am going to just dip into that fleshy shade and lighten up in here just a little bit, going over the edge. I have a feeling that you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better, which makes me happy. Next, I'm going to be doing some shimmer action. I am going to use a gold and like a pink. I'm gonna only do a half cut crease. So outside I'm gonna be doing like the gold and then fading into, it's like this pink gold corally color. I think it will go nice with the blushes that I got. So just taking any flat brush, this one is from AOA, it's the E131. Use this trick from Butte Bean and I've never looked back. So, and then I'm going to go it like a slant and go a little bit above my crease. And then taking that same brush, I'm picking up Zeal and just placing that on the out side of where I put that glue. That just is a really nice shimmer for the drugstore and you cannot tell me any different. Next, I am dipping into Creative and putting that on the inside. Oh gosh, that has so much fallout. Be careful, you guys. Pat, don't swipe. Pat, don't. Different shimmer formulas in here. One is very flaky and the other one's a little creamier, so just be aware of what you're which one you're picking. I'm going to go back into the shade I used for my crease and just a little bit of like that cream shade and go over the top of that into, being careful not to knock too much down into my eyeball, like that. I'm going to do my mascara in the other side and I will be right back. Okay, I am back and my mascara is done. I usually say I'm back and my brows are filled or whatever, but we're past that. We are back and my mascara is done. It's not really liking me today, but we're ignoring my gross hair. We're just letting it be. Overall, so far I think the palette's good. I really want to dip into those blues and greens, but I will have to wait until I am able to use colorful mattes of other palettes. Those are just my kind of preferences when I'm trying a eyeshadow palette out for the first time. I like to try and stick within that palette, so next time I will be dipping into other ones. So we are moving on to probably the number one thing that I'm excited to test today, and that is a new foundation. As some of you may know, I am going cruelty-free. My favorite foundation that I've been using is the Revlon Candid Glow. And Revlon, I don't believe, is cruelty-free, so I love the finish of that foundation, but I wish there was just a little bit more coverage. I'm usually like I love medium coverage. That's perfect, but that's like more light and it's not really buildable. So I have been looking for something that's going to be close to the mixture that I get when I mix my Candid Glow with my Milk Blur liquid. And I watched Allie Glines review this foundation when it first launched, and it is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Silk Foundation with jojoba oil. And it says it delivers a silky second skin airbrush dewy finish, and it was really hard to tell my shade in the bottle. I got the second lightest one because usually the lightest ones are too light. Usually I'm in the 2 to 3, sometimes 4 depending on how light the foundation goes. And this is a shake bottle before each use type. I am going to prime and highlight underneath my foundation today. Just like normal, I'm using my Good Molecules Priming Moisturizer, just like normal. This is supposed to be a dewy finish. I think I remember from her review that it was more of a skin-like finish, which I would be okay with. I mean, I go in with enough moisturizer anyway, so hopefully it's just not, you know, matte and it lied to us. That would be unfortunate. Wet n Wild Hello Halo Liquid Glow liquid highlighter in Halo Goodbye. So it has a dropper. I'm gonna apply this with my regular foundation brush. I don't really use a sponge. This is my BK 101. It's my absolute favorite brush in my entire collection. If I lost all my brushes, I would repurchase this one first and be okay with using it only. So I have about that much. Oh, very liquidy. Okay, very liquidy. Looks like it's going to be maybe too light. We'll go with that, okay? I'll go over here first. I did not spot conceal because I want to test the coverage as is. I would typically spot conceal before going in with foundation because that's typically how I do my base. I'm not a fan of the smell. It smells weird. And I'm not typically somebody who gets bothered by scents. I'm gonna get up close. I'm gonna go at it. It is a little pink toned for me. Not tragically noticeable, but I can notice it. And I've had worse. And I love the coverage. The coverage is great, honestly. It covered a lot of my dark spots in these areas, which is typically what I would conceal. It didn't really do much for my under eye, which is to be expected. And then I still have a couple peeking through here. Now I don't set my face. I do have powder, but it is very, almost borderline greasy, maybe. I'm gonna add a little bit more in my cheeks and then conceal and reassess. It looks heavy. Yeah, it just looks a little heavy around my mouth. I wasn't anticipating that. If anything, I was expecting lighter coverage than I'm getting. And it's not the coverage that's bothering me. This looks really heavy on my mouth area. And I'm just really trying to press it in, but I don't know if maybe I went in with too much. Maybe it's a very, very thin application. Because right in here, it's performing beautifully. I don't use any pore filling primers, and my pores in this area especially are large, and it is doing a really nice job of gliding over those and not like falling in and making them look even larger, because sometimes foundations will do that, but it's also just like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna go back to it. I am going to move on and see if it settles, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes it settles and you look fine. And I do also spot conceal, like I said, so maybe I'll use less next time when I spot conceal underneath. I did just want to get a grade on the kind of coverage I'll be getting, which is the coverage is there. The coverage is exactly what I'm looking for. It is spot on. Perfect. Like, I love the coverage, but it's just something about the way it is I'm not liking. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch her thing. I am gonna lightly set my cheeks. Hopefully this foundation doesn't make my powders splotchy, because that would be unfortunate. I don't set my base, so I need a base that is going to work well with powders on top of it when it's not set. So I'm just going over my cheeks with my, is this the 104? With the 104. That's actually really nice. I'm putting on a lot of bronzer. Why? Don't know, couldn't tell you. It's going on really nice. I don't know if that's just because the brush is great, or if this is just letting everything go on very smoothly. I'm going to go in with my, actually, pause. I'm gonna go back into my Pro Artistry palette, and I'm missing the inner corner highlight. I'm just gonna hit Expressive, which is the only inner corner highlight shade in the palette, and pray that it doesn't fall out all over my face. If you are not new here, you know that my all-time favorite blush formula is these out of my collection, and is the LA Girl Blush Babe palette. This is what it looks like. And yeah, it has like this mauve pink that's like a peach with gold shimmer, and then that's a brown blush. I love them all, but they also have another one, which is the Island Hottie. And this one is just a lot more warm. That is like cool tone. And so this one has two shimmer orange blushes. This one's more like a true like tangerine orange, and then this one is like a peachy orange. This one is like a shimmer version of the mauve blush in the Blush Babe palette. It has some gold shimmer in it, just giving it a little bit more warmth. And then this is like a very pale apricot-y shade. It's very pale. It looks pink on camera. I can see it looks pink, but it's really like a really light peach. Very light. So I couldn't resist. I love blush. I'm going to play with these two, probably see how they look. And yeah, I could not resist getting this palette. I think I'm gonna dip into the bright one. These don't have shade names, guys, okay? They don't. Blushes are very pigmented, so that's a nice sheen. That's a gorgeous color. Oh yeah, we're gonna amp it up even more with the blood orange color. This is just citrusy gorgeousness. This would be perfect for the if you're like a seasonal makeup wearer and like to match with the seasons. I wear whatever I want, so I'd wear this now. But I know some people like to wear, you know, the pinks and the oranges and the yellows in the summertime. It's just not me, but this would be a gorgeous palette to stack for the summer. I am dipping into that darker orange shade. This one is pressed a little bit harder than the other one. The Blush Babe palette is a lot more powdery than this one, I feel. Same amount of pigmentation, just application difference. That is real shimmery, you guys. If you guys do not like a shimmery blush, do not get this palette. I'm gonna go back pressing that into this can. I am obsessed with these shimmer blushes. I know they probably look insane, but I really don't care. I think I look cute. I don't know, it complements the gold in my eyes because there's gold shimmer throughout the blushes. I'm just gonna throw on a lip. I think I'm just gonna throw on a lip because that's all of the first impressions I got for you guys. Jury's kind of still out on the foundation. It's drying down. Like, I don't feel like I need to set it at all. It's not like, I don't feel like it's gonna move. I just don't know how I like it. Yeah, it just looks a little heavy for my taste. And that's about it. That's all I have to say about it. I think the coverage is gorgeous. Yeah. Eyes, not exactly what I wanted, but I'll get to play with those blues and greens again. I think I'm going to do a graphic look with those new liners, and I am, you know, always happy to add more blush to my collection. That is my finished look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't really foresee me getting a whole bunch more. I have a lot of things coming in the mail, so I really don't need to be spending any more on new products. So I'm really excited to get those things to test out for you guys and do some looks for you. So if you guys like this video, please like, please subscribe, comment down below what your favorite drugstore palettes are. I'd love to get to know kind of what you guys look for when you guys are shopping. If you guys even go to the makeup section in your guys' drugstore, I just wanna chit chat, get to know you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.